Close Bengals beat writers Paul Dana Jr. and Jim Owczarski discuss the team's decision to fire offensive coordinator Ken Zampese and promote quarterbacks coach Bill Lazor. The Enquirer Curry Mel Garza a first look at the Cincinnati Bengals' first trip to Lambeau Field since 2009 to take on the Green Bay Packers in a nationally televised broadcast at 4:25 p.m. The Bengals, at least on offense, are in a bit of a state of flux after firing offensive coordinator Ken Zampese following a 139 loss to Houston at Paul Brown Stadium last Thursday night to fall 2-0. Andy Dalton struggled with accuracy again 57% and the team rushed for just 3.4 yards per carry. The Packers lost a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game in Atlanta, falling 3,423 to the Falcons. The already hampered Packers' 11 lost playmaking receivers Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb to injuries during the game, while Aaron Rodgers was hit 7 times, sacked 3 times and intercepted once in 50 pass attempts. Packers players of note on offense: Aaron Rodgers, QB, best quarterback in football, has had to try and work around a bevy of injuries to his offensive line on pass catches through the first 2 weeks, and the result has been an okay start to the year as opposed to his usual all-world self. Through 2 games, Rodgers has an 88.8 rating while leading the NFL in completions 61 and attempts 92. He has also turned the ball over 3 times and thrown for 3 touchdowns. He has been sacked 7 times and has been hit 16 times. The 33-year-old QB can still move out of the pocket as well, not only by extending plays and creating time to throw but to also scramble for key yardage. Ty Montgomery, RBA converted wide receiver, the 6-foot, 216-pound third-year man out of Stanford, can be a playmaker for the Packers and create matchup problems for the Bengals linebackers. He hasn't established himself as much of a rushing threat through 2 weeks, 29 attempts, 89 yards, 3.1 average, but he has caught 10 passes for 114 yards. He also has scored 3 total touchdowns to start the year. Jerry Evans and Lane Taylor, guard Evans is in his 12th year at right guard and was one of the Packers' rare free agent acquisitions, a big player 64, 318 pounds who went to 6 Pro Bowls and being named All-Pro 4 times with the New Orleans Saints. Lane Taylor, 63, 324, is the left guard and was the man the Packers felt good enough about to move on from Pro Bowler Josh Sitton a year ago. They will be the men responsible for trying to slow down Bengals defensive tackle Geno Atkins, who tuned up the interiors of the Baltimore and Houston offensive lines for 12 total tackles and 3 sacks. Mike Daniels, DTA fiery presence and the anchor of the Packers' 34 scheme up the middle. He is a true 3-down player, making 44 tackles while registering 4 sacks and 14 hits on the quarterback a year ago. At press time, it was learned Daniels is dealing with a minor hamstring injury he suffered on the first series of the Packers' loss to Atlanta, but if he's on the field he can be disruptive in the middle of the pocket and require double teams from interior linemen. He made 7 tackles and notched 1.5 sacks and forced a fumble in the Packers' season-opening win against Seattle. Clay Matthews, the All-Pro outside linebacker, remains a player to be accounted for in Dom Capers' 34 scheme, and he enters his 9th NFL season with 72.5 sacks. Coincidentally, his first career sack came against the Bengals in 2009 when he took down Carson Palmer. He hasn't recorded a double-digit sack season since 2014, but remains a force in pass situations and has to be accounted for. After a quiet opener, Matthews sacked Matt Ryan 1.5 times on Sunday and made 5 total tackles against the Falcons. Kevin King, CBTHE Packers traded out of the first round to select the 6-foot, 3-inch, 200-pound coverman number 33 overall with the first pick of the second round. He made 3 tackles and had a pass breakup on Sunday in Atlanta in 46 snaps after seeing just 6 snaps in his NFL debut in Week 1. He was matched up on Julio Jones on several occasions, so it's possible he'll be tabbed to take on A.J. Green as well. King has some familiarity with the Bengals, as he and first-round pick John Ross were teammates at the University of Washington. Quick Facts TV CBS Jim Nantz play-by-play, Tony Romo analyst, Tracy Wolfson sideline reporter. Radio WCKY-AM 1530 and WEBN-FM 102.7. Line last week Bengals lost 139 to Texans. Packers lost 3,423 to Falcons. Ski numbers 0 victories. Aaron Rodgers has in 2 starts against the Bengals in his career 47 of 82, 505 yards, 2 TD, 2 INT, 73.5 rating, 10 sacks. He is winless against only one other team, Pittsburgh. 1 Bill Lazor is the first offensive coordinator or any coordinator to take over the Bengals unit in season as the team heads to Lambeau Field. 4 AFC teams that have beaten Rodgers at Lambeau Field since he took over as the Green Bay Packers starter in 2008, 4-1-3 overall. The Bengals were one of those teams, winning 3,124 in 2009. 6 sacks by the Packers through 2 games, 4.5 coming from the linebackers. Connections. Bengals WR Alex Erickson is from Darlington, Wisconsin, and played at the University of Wisconsin. Bengals assistant strength and conditioning coach Jeff Friday is a Milwaukee native and attended the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Packers secondary safeties coach Darren Perry began his coaching career in Cincinnati under Dick LeBeau in 2002, coaching the Bengals safeties. Packers pound Ahmad Brooks entered the NFL as a third-round pick of the Bengals in the 2006 supplemental draft, and was with Cincinnati through 07. Bengals Les Clark Harris entered the NFL as a 7th-round draft pick, 243rd overall of the Packers in 2007. Packers GT Adam Pankey is from Hamilton, Ohio. Hamilton High School. Packers corner Quinton Rollins is from Wilmington and played at the Miami University of Ohio. Packers special teams coordinator Ron Zook was the defensive coordinator at the University of Cincinnati from 198,182. He also coached the defensive backs at Ohio State from 198,890 and then was the defensive coordinator in New Orleans from 200,001 under current Bengals linebackers coach Jim Haslett. Haslett was the head coach of the Saints from 200,005. Zook Loudonville, Ohio native, and he played the Miami University of Ohio. Packers head coach Mike McCarthy was the offensive coordinator in New Orleans from 200,004 under Haslett. Packers associate head coach and linebackers coach Winston Moss also coached under Haslett with the Saints from 200,005. Packers defensive coordinator Dom Capers is a Cambridge, Ohio native who grew up in Buffalo, Ohio and played college ball at Mount Union College in Alliance. He coached at Ohio State from 198,293. Packers assistant offensive line coach Jeff Blasco and wide receivers coach Luke Getsy began their coaching careers at Akron as graduate assistants. Getsy also played for the Zips. Packers defensive line coach Mike Trovach is a Youngstown native and played high school football in Austintown, Ohio. Packers secondary cornerbacks coach Joe Witt Jr. was the cornerbacks coach and recruiting coordinator at the University of Louisville from 200,306. Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb played at the University of Kentucky and holds the school record for touchdowns 37. Packers center Corey Linsley is from Boardman, Ohio and played at Ohio State.